Our GMC Sierra tweet of the night is from Rob Beard Temple, who says, Michael Chavis, this is what he had to say last night about the PNC Park crowd. That was my first time seeing a packed stadium here, and wow, it was really cool. Such a big and beautiful stadium, and seeing every seat filled and every person standing and cheering, pretty special. I stand by that. Best way to attract people is to have a good team, winning, and more winning. And you got to do it at some point and spend money to keep guys there. So hopefully that'll be the message as they continue to develop people as well. Real quick, Jeff, before we go to the lines, Ron Hextall was up in Montreal today as the Penguins get ready for the draft. They still have the 21st pick. Two quick questions. Number one, would you trade that 21st pick, knowing that you're trying to keep this core together? And number two, do you think both those guys, Letang and Malkin, are going to sign? Because it looks like Letang is close, Malkin not so much.
I'd be open to trading it, depending on what you're getting for it. Mm-hmm. Like if you can add a couple of young wingers because somebody really likes somebody at that 21st pick, yeah, I'd be for that. As for who I would want to sign, I want Letang first, period, and then work from there. And it looks like they're close. Hextall said that today, that he anticipates that they're going to get a deal done with Chris Letang, which is awesome. Then you can look at Evgeny Malkin. I would not want to go the same term with Evgeny Malkin that I'd be willing to go with Chris Letang, but obviously I think Malkin still has some game, and if he's willing to play for a price that's much less than what he's making right now, I think it's worth doing.
All right, let's go to the lines. We begin with Michael, who joins us in Pittsburgh. He wants to talk about the Pirates. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the Sports Call.
Hello. Welcome, fellas. I wanted to get your take on this. Second and third, 0 outs. First inning, Sawinski's up. I think the element of surprise would have been a bunt at that point because you expect him to swing for the fences. What do you think about that?
I disagree with that just because he's been swinging a hot bat, and I like the fact that the guy has become more plate aware. And I also think bunting has been a lost art, Jeff. You don't see guys do it very well. I'll take my chances with Sawinski swinging there.
Yeah, and Sawinski has that swing that lifts the ball in the air. He's just got that kind of uppercut type swing, which should lead or could have led to a sacrifice fly. Unfortunately, it led to a pop-up. But yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. I want him in those situations. Let's test him in those environments to see if he can drive in a run. He failed in that occasion, but I wouldn't want to bunt him there. Not him.
No, he's doing too well. He's hitting the ball consistently well, so I would have. Plus, you know you're going to need runs against this Yankee lineup. They only scored. They got shut out Sunday, 1 hit. Last night, just 2 runs. They're going to explode at some point. They don't lose 3 in a row, and they certainly don't go away with not much offense. Let's go to Herb and Renfrew, line 1, who wants to talk Pirates as well. What's up, Herb?
Hi, Bob and Jeff. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
And congrats, Bob, for 40 years.
Thank you.
I'm about your age and enjoyed you for a long time.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. It's been a great ride for me so far. I've had a lot of fun, and I met a lot of great people like you, Herb.
Thank you. My question is, with you guys, is what do you think about the Pirates using position players pitching in the 19-2 loss to the Brewers last week, saving their pitchers for another day? I don't think it's fair to the fans. And should there be some type of mercy rule in a game like that, or heck, let one of the fans come in and pitch the last inning?
Or the Pirate Parrot. You may as well use him. That's such a tough situation for a manager. You don't want to waste arms, especially with the way they use the bullpen, and starters don't go along these days. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with it necessarily. And what else are you going to do, Jeff? I mean, at this point, it's 19-2. You can't throw out guys you're going to use the next day, or at least you hope to.
Yeah, it used to be a novelty you'd see like once every 3 years or so. And now you're seeing it, 3 or 4 times a month. I get the logic behind it. Like, hey, we use so many pitchers now in so many different situations. It doesn't make sense to throw a guy out there and potentially waste him for when you really would need him in a close game the next day. I don't want to see a mercy rule, but I am more old school with seeing guys go longer and maybe using fewer pitchers. So you would have a rookie that you can put in that situation and give him some reps instead of using them in leverage situations, which you do now.
We have an interesting tweet here, and this is about Baker Mayfield. He was traded today by Cleveland to Carolina for a 5th-round conditional pick in 2024. This tweeter, Kathy SQ2, says, I would equate the Panthers' current quarterback room to the Texans, the Falcons, the Steelers, and the Seahawks, probably bottom 5 in the league. Well, the Steelers may have something to say about that. However, Jeff, now they have Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, two guys who were highly picked, 1 overall, 3. I think Darnold was 3 overall, and they brought in Matt Corral. How do you assess their quarterback room?
It's interesting. I was reading NFL Network, one of their reporters today saying that, or tonight actually, saying that Baker Mayfield's not being handed the keys to the Carolina offense. He's being handed a duplicate set because he needs to beat out Sam Darnold to be the starting quarterback, which is like everybody assumes Baker's going to go down there and win the job, and I do think he'll end up being the starting quarterback. But, man, that's just, I mean, do you improve? Sure. I still think Baker Mayfield's a bottom 3 quarterback, bottom 3rd quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's that good. I don't think on a bad team that he can go down there and do. Maybe he'll inspire you to a win or two, but he's not a guy that's your future. But for Carolina, what do you give up? A conditional pick,
yeah, 5th
and
round.
Cleveland's going to pay $10 million of his salary. You're only on the hook for $3.5, so yeah. I think it's worth the gamble.
Isn't it wild how in the NFL you get nothing for guys who are number 1 overall picks, and in the NBA, Rudy Gobert gets 3 first-round picks in exchange. I mean, they give away first-round picks like it's crazy.
And, Bob, I think that's what was driving like Aaron Donald crazy when he sees some of the money that NBA guys get, and he's the best player in the NFL, and he's capped. Not that we're going to feel sorry for him at like $35 million, but compared to what these guys are making in the NBA, it's crazy. And obviously roster size and all of that plays a part in it.
When you're dealing with 53 versus 12, and you have more
work
money
on that offhand. Work on that three-pointer because there's a lot of cash in there.
Either that or be a left-hand pitcher.
Ask Cam Johnson.
Right. All right, let's go to Bert and Ross Traver. Bert wants to talk about Steelers quarterback situation. What's up, Bert?
Guys, thanks a lot. Congratulations also on your 47 on being a pillar of the community. Jeff, I think you did something like any picture of the day in the morning. But I was kind of happy.
Thanks, Bert.
I think the Steelers made it bread and butter.
Well, Bert, we were having a hard time. I appreciate if you were saying something. I know you wanted to talk about Pickett, which leads me to talk about it because, quite frankly, we talked about Baker Mayfield being 1 overall, Sam Darnold 3. How about Mitch Trubisky's number 2 overall? And here they are just quickly into their careers with new teams. I like Trubisky. I've said that from the beginning. I like Pickett too, but I'm not willing to think that Pickett is ready to do this. Mostly, Jeff, because I think this is not ACC defenses. This is these guys they're going to come after you from all angles with all pro players. And their offensive line is so young, I would rather start with Trubisky and go from there. And if it works, fine. Then you have something interesting to tackle down the road. But if it doesn't work, then you can go to Pickett.
We've seen more recently where rookie quarterbacks on different teams, on multiple teams, get opportunities. It never used to be that way. It used to be that you would earn your time, you would learn from the sidelines, not like Cliff Stout, but you'd learn from the sidelines at least for a year or so. I think that's ideal for Kenny Pickett. I think the best case scenario for the Steelers is Mitch Trubisky to come in and have a solid year and Kenny Pickett to learn from the sideline as to what happens. Obviously, that could change. And let me say this too, Bob. I know we've had this discussion back and forth. Don't read into minicamp. Wait till training camp. Wait till Bob Pompeani starts calling some games before you worry about what order the quarterbacks are in or how good they're going to be. There's still some competition yet to be had. Nothing's going to be handed to any of those guys.
No, I agree, and I think that's the most important part of this whole evaluation process. We're due for a break. We'll take it back with more. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW.